You're welcome back to News Echo, where we give you the latest information. That was Commodore Dan Suleiman. Now we want to look into a very serious situation. These girls, young, talented, they've been playing for Nigeria. They've been winning. They have won 3 times consecutively African Women Championship, and we need to celebrate them. I have come to celebrate the Tigress, they're called. Beautiful, young, strong Nigerian ladies winning for us, spending their money, and they have a grievance. And this grievance, may I say, very grievous. But let the studio play what they have to say. And I want you to listen to this one before we have our input.
Yes, sorry, it's coming.
It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, but you need to hear it and listen to these young ladies, what they have been suffering. Apart from winning, nobody's taking them seriously in the government. And others in other countries, they will be celebrated. They've been winning, they've been representing us at the Olympics, they've been representing us at world uh, competitions. Why can't we not just appreciate them? That's what they're asking for, and
Yes,
the no allowances are not paid. Are we ready, studio?
yes, sir. I want to say before we bring them in, also it's a sign that we don't. The Nigerian government doesn't really understand the power in this genre of activity. Yes, it's ready to let's hear from the girls.
First, we want to say thank you to the Nigerian Embassy in Cameroon for celebrating us. We appreciate you more than you know. Other than that, we do not feel appreciated or celebrated after achieving this historical feat. In 2017, we won the Afrobasket Championship, and 3 days later, we were presented to the Father of Nations, Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, and his entire cabinet by the former ministry, Honorable Solomon Dailon, as customary with handshake. We have defended our championship and brought back the cup in 2019 and 2021, which is historical, but still no invitation has been extended to the team to visit Aso Rock or a presidential handshake. Why?
President of NBBF, Musa said that the Federation isn't owing any players, officials, or vendors. This is far from the truth. The last time we checked, our allowances, stipends, bonuses, training grants, and donations made by banks for players, officials, and volunteers still have not been paid.
We are owed $73,118 from the NBBF, $24,000 from the Ministry for the Tokyo grant, and $100,000 from donations from 3 banks in Nigeria.
Ever since our general manager and team manager resigned, we feel like we're being marginalized. Our senior leadership, like the former president, never really shows up for camps or competitions to boost our morale. And when we have significant concerns and issues that needs to be addressed, when he does show up, we get vague answers, as if our concerns aren't important to him. But when we win, they magically show up for photo ops and celebrations to use for political gain. Musa was not in Cameroon, but somehow he showed up to Abuja to take pictures and to hoist a trophy, again, for political gain.
The Tokyo 2020 Olympics was full of a bunch of distractions for all of us. We didn't know the final roster until the day before the flight. So our first team practice was in Tokyo days before the first game.
There's a lot of things that could have been handled differently to increase our chances of success. Starting with our travel, there was a 36-hour flight, our team gear and uniforms, making sure they're up standard, 2 practices a day, not being able to access medical staff at certain points during the Olympics, as well as gift exchange between teams.
Why hasn't the team been to Nigeria since 2019? We're wondering the same thing. As DTigress players, we want to go back to Nigeria. We don't understand why we have not been to the country for the last 2 years for camp or for any celebration. It's customary that the team is to go home for major competitions so that we can have morale. It's also important that we inspire the next generation to follow their dreams. Every player that has been a DTigress since 2017 has their own thoughts and feelings about the dissolved NBBF board and coaching staff over the course of the time. It is evident that our voices have not been heard. Our requests for little things have been ignored, on top of not being celebrated or recognized as much as a 3 times back-to-back African Cup of Nations champion deserves.
Our demands: all money owed to players, officials, and vendors, adequate travel to competitions, and a team manager for all team functions. If these demands are not met, with all due respect to the presidency, the NBBF, and the ministry, all DTigress players will not be reporting to the FIBA World Cup tournament in 2022 in February. We are one united voice.
I stand.
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 Well. Mark, are you standing? Nat, are you standing? I'm standing with them.
I'm standing. Hidiga. Ambassador,
No.
I'm standing.
They are more than standing.
What's your impression, Nat?
This video clip we've just watched and what the Tigress have said is rather unfortunate. That this is what they will receive as reward for representing Nigeria, and on 3 occasions for winning this particular competition back-to-back 3 times.
Continental championship, yeah.
Yeah, and that reminds me, we had one minister, Solomon Dalong of Minister of Sport, who told the world that they didn't expect our footballing team, the ladies, they were not expecting that they will win. And so they didn't prepare anything for them. But it's showing the nation in very bad light. You don't treat your people representing you at international level, not once, not twice, not 3 times, and always winning, and you don't appreciate them. I think a high-level committee should be set up to investigate why the Ministry of Youth and Sports, they did the same thing in Tokyo 2020.
Yes.
And
I mean,
disgrace. I think something is wrong. Something is wrong. And if
we continue saying the same thing year in, year out. Mark in Milan, we continue saying something is wrong there and nothing happens. I mean, look at what Ambassador Nat said. One year, the minister said we didn't expect them to win, so we didn't make any provision. Why are you expecting them to lose? Is that now, why is it that we make the same mistake in Olympics, every World Cup? Our athletes must protest openly, disgrace the country, and yet without protesting, there are no hearing ears in Asorok. Why are we this underdeveloped? Maybe you can help us.
I wonder why we still have the office called Minister of Sports when issues like this are not addressed. There is a man now there Sunday, the Minister of Sport now there Sunday, and they put their focus on frivolous things that don't really matter. Then the core issues of the matters, they don't address it. So Sunday, Dalong was the former minister. These girls did what they did under that administration, but he didn't follow up with them. And you can hear how passionate they are for their country. They went out there, they did their thing, but nobody appreciated them, no anything. It's sad. Now, how do they want Nigerians in diaspora to get involved in the development of Nigeria when they are being treated like this? The problem is the top. When the top doesn't have a knowledge of things, everything crumbles. So
Yeah.
yes, the top doesn't have this.
There is no fear of the top among the ministers, because
Exactly.
if a minister of sports should know that our Olympic athletes have only one pair of uniform and they have to wash it a night before they go and appear in the whole world, in front of the whole world, I mean, that minister would say, I think I will lose my job. But when he knows that his president is not capable of understanding what is going on, he could afford to do anything. And look at all the money that these ladies are asking for, which they owe them, transport money, token for this. They are about $300,000 for people who have traveled, who have left every other thing, who have left job, who have left father, mother, and children to win for Nigeria for $300,000, and they are begging for it, and they are not celebrated, they are not honored, morale not boosted. I mean, we don't know what language we can say that these people will understand that they are damaging our young ones. Anything the government has its hand is going to be damaged. Look at these young girls, they organize themselves and they are winning. But for the government, they're winning. Now, the government to appreciate them, to celebrate them, to even have a handshake at Aso Rock is not even happening. And these are people who understand what it is for their president to just give them a handshake and tell them that, look, you are doing beautifully for our country. And they can't even get this one. For $300,000, many Arab countries will spend $300 million to get their children winning like this. Nat, you want to say something now? Because I'm really, really, really put off by the way we do things in Nigeria. What is in $300,000 that they have to be owed?
I see that in you, Dr. Shagu. Dr. Shagu, please hold your peace. Don't worry. A time is coming. It's coming close. Things will be done well. We can't be like this all through our lives. God has not created us to be this confused and doing things shabbily. These girls did work for their country with their hearts. These girls did their best and they brought results. Now, and if you go close now to the Ministry of Sports, the present minister will tell you it doesn't concern him. It wasn't under his watch, so he can do less. You know, he will give all the excuses. Meanwhile, he's putting his own donation to a championship game that is going on now that that doesn't really add value, because that championship game is only promoting the name of the wife of the president. It's not really doing that much of irrelevance to sport. It's just to promote the name of Aisha Buhari. So and there are, you're promoting an event when behind you are issues that have not been settled. So we are caught up in a very strong dilemma. But I know these girls will win because this video has gone viral. A lot of Nigerians are hearing it, and things will obviously there might be a succor to their plea.
Nat, what would you like to say before we go to the next topic?
I think this is an issue that the presidency and act immediately, so that one way or the other, the name of the country has to be redeemed, and then these young girls will be encouraged, and the future generations will also be encouraged to take anything they are doing for their country seriously, knowing that the country will appreciate and respond appropriately.
In the days of MKO Abiola, Abiola will just send money to them, isn't it? In those days.
Yes, he was pillar of sports in Africa. He played that role efficiently.
If he listened to these young girls who struggling and making Nigeria, I mean, he would just spend $300,000. But we don't have such people anymore. But I was just thinking, Why can't we start GoFundMe for these girls? They will earn more. We will get them $1 million. GoFundMe for these girls. Do you think we can start something like that?
That's a very good one. Yes, we can do that. But the thing is, when it comes to finances on the internet, it's a very delicate issue. If we start it, they will want to know who are we. Some questions will be asked, and so that it's not. It is purely for that motive. So yes, it's a beautiful idea, but we need some consent from them also. We need consent from the girls, and we can go ahead and do that.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense. If we have to get in touch with them to say we want to start GoFundMe, the money will not come to any individual. The money will go to a particular account where these girls will be able to access it, and then something good will happen to them. I think we should be able to start doing things like that in News Echo right now. So we'll look for opportunity to get their consent, their leader. We Google them and say, we want to do GoFundMe. It's time to shame some government officials, put them to shame. Is it $300,000? We can raise that one in 3 days. I'm telling you, Nigerians can raise it in 3 days. Like you rightly said, we have to properly do it, get their consent, and then make sure that the money goes to an account. You and I will not have the signatories, but we will propel it, and these girls will have access to their own money. We can do that, and it will be a shame on a government that does not appreciate people slaving for them day and night, putting their names in good places, making themselves good ambassadors, placing the name of Nigeria in high places, and yet they just don't worry. But it is not enough just to talk about it. Let's do something positive for these girls. Go fund them. Go fund them. We can do it, and we'll work on it after this program.